Hey gamers, this is Liz Davidson from Beyond Solitaire, and I am here to show Strange Horticulture. This is a game I've been playing on PC. You can also play it on the Switch, but I've been getting a real kick out of it. I've played it through several times. I got all the achievements. I got really into it, and so I think you might be into it as well. So I just want to show you around the game's interface and give you a sense of what you're doing. I don't want to show too much because it's got a lot of mysteries and puzzles, and I want you to be able to enjoy that. But I do want you to kind of leave this video with a sense of whether it's for you. So this is a game in which you've inherited your uncle's plant shop in kind of like a creepy little Victorian town. It's not like a real place. It's like a fantasy place with a bunch of magic and plants that can do really amazing things, as we're going to slowly discover over the course of the game. You do have a cat. You can pet the cat. The cat purrs if your volume's on high. It's super satisfying, to be honest. I love the sound effects in this game. But what you're doing for the most part is you are looking at these plants. We're going to have reasons to want to identify what they are. And we're also going to travel around and look for more plants and meet people and, advance the game's plot line. So part of this game is just satisfying customers every day. Part of it is being part of a larger problem in this area that I don't want to give away too much information about yet. So over here you have this drawer, and you've got clues, letters, an archive where I just dump all the papers I'm done with. There are labels, so you can go label plants. Hello. And you can change the colors, which I think is pretty cool. So now it's just a random mislabeled plant, but that's fine. And you also have some really key items here. So I've actually never bothered with this magnifying glass ever because I'm playing on a nice large monitor, but you have a strange book of plants. If you look in here, it doesn't start out very exciting. There's only a few plants, but this is going to expand a lot throughout the game, and it's super fun to get more pages. But basically, you click, and you can get information about various plants. But what's interesting is that you're not going to get like a full picture of the whole plant. You're getting information that's essentially clues about the plants. But you're going to have to use your powers of reasoning to get further. So the other thing I will mention, by the way, is that I don't think the Latin here is very good, but we're just going to leave it at that. I'm a Latin teacher, and I'm just going to try to be nice about it. But here are our plants. They're very cool. And also, the book just makes kind of nice booky sounds as you touch it throughout the game. Again, I recommend playing this with a headset with volume high because it's kind of nice. There's also a map. Oh, check that out. I've now got the will to explore, which means that we can go somewhere. I'm going to take you to your first location, walk you through your first couple of customers, talk about the game a little more, and call this quits. But if you look at the map, this is the area in which we're working. So we have a nice little grid with letters and numbers, and there are going to be lots of little puzzles that involve finding where to get more plants on this map based on interesting little clue cards. So definitely be alert for that as you play. So we're going to look at our first location. I found an excerpt on the elusive wandering Bew. Come to the library in Ambleside, and I'll tell you all about it. So we're going to go on this map to Ambleside. And then boom, you don't really go to other screens, really. You just kind of get a text that tells you where you went with like a neat drawing. We're going to get a couple of book entries for that book I just showed you. Boom. And so the wandering Bew is something that we're going to be looking for. And we've also got gilded dendra. So those get added to the book. So you're going to have people who give you things to do and look for. And you're also going to have customers. So here we've got Victoria Gray. Let's find out what she wants. All right. So she thinks that we have a cool shop. I agree. She has an unusual request. So she says, at night I hear whispered voices, too faint to hear clearly, coming from the floor above me, but nobody lives up there. The rooms are empty. My curiosity's got the better of me. I must find out what they're saying. So she needs us to give her a plant to help her make that happen. And in this case, we're given a clue. Sometimes it's just question marks and you have to figure it out. Like as you get better at the game, the puzzles will change. But we're going to look up St. John's poppy. Okay, it's got vibrant petals. And they're red with a yellow center. So we need to find the plant up here that has vibrant red petals with a yellow center. We don't have very many plants. So it's going to be easy to tell that this little hello plant is actually, in fact, St. John's poppy. So we get a book entry for that. Good on us. This is a plant that unlocks things, which I kind of wish was real. That's pretty cool. So let's say I don't like this label anymore. I think there might be a more efficient way to do it if I just drag the label back up. And we're going to call it St. John's Poppy. And we're just going to leave the exclamation point in there because I'm lazy. Perfect. So then you can move the plant around as you wish. You kind of sort things. I've had a couple different playthroughs and a couple different sorting styles. You're going to get a lot of plants. It'll be fine, I promise. But basically that's the core of the game. So we'll let another customer in. Oh, this is the mailman. So he's going to show up, be pleasant, exchange small talk, and then give us something interesting. So this our buddy Amos has been to a horrible town, but he's going to tell us that something bad happened, but he recovers in the woods south of the town. So we're going to look at Gosforth and look south with a group of travelers. On the northeast corner of the wood, I sat and stared at a bright flower, and tears flowed down my face at the reminder there's beauty in this world. So clearly we're being encouraged by the game to go look for where he was and the flower that he saw. So let's go ahead and go find it. I really like doing these little map puzzles. So basically what's going to happen is we're going to open up the map and we're going to look around. Keep the letter here. So we know that he was in the town of Gosforth. So that was right here in the map, but we don't want to go there. We know it's bad. In fact, I went there the first playthrough and something bad happened. So I'll just warn you, I mean, it's not that bad. I'll show you in a second. But basically he gets rescued. Okay. He begins his recovery in the woods to the south. And then on the northeast corner of the wood, he finds this flower. So we know here's the woods. Here's the northeast corner. So let's go ahead and click that. Oh, so we're going to go there too. We have a nice calming moment and we get a plant. So a new plant has arrived. We don't know the name. We don't know what it does. We just have it. And eventually, of course, we're going to have an entry in the book that's going to help us figure out what it is. And then I just stick these in the archive. A check appears on things that you've completed, so you know you're done, which I think is pretty cool. So I don't actually want to show you too much more of this game, but I do want to talk about it a little bit. It's just such a delightful game. This is so peaceful. I don't know how the sound mixing is going to be on here, but I love the sound effects, like the shuffling of the paper, the little bookish thunk of your plant book, moving the plants around. You can water your plants. You can pet your cat. Which I enjoy doing regularly, even though it's not a real cat, obviously. And the other thing is if you want to bump your will to explore, you can just water your plants. So we're just going to speed things up. And then I'm going to show you just kind of what happens if you mess up in the game. So if somebody asks for a plant and you give them the wrong one, or if you're like trying to go to a location on the map, sometimes it'll just waste your time. Other times something bad will happen. And then I just want to show you how that's resolved in here because it's actually one of the things I really like about the game. So one thing I really hate in games personally is being punished too hard for my mistakes. So let's say that I'm going to go to Gosforth because I know that my buddy got mugged there. So I should not have come here. A darkness hangs over this town like an executioner's blade. I feel a rising dread. Oh no, so I got some rising dread. So basically what happens here is if this happens 3 times, you just go to like a mini game, like your mind shatters and you have to do a little puzzle to like get your equilibrium back. But that's all you actually have to do. It's really not bad. And I personally find that really comforting. I don't like to be punished too hard for my mistakes because if I'm really exploring, then I want to have the freedom to do that. And I think that that's something that Strange Horticulture does a good job of. There is enough time wasting to keep you from just clicking around randomly and not really doing the puzzles, but there's not so much punishment that you're ever going to get stuck and totally frustrated. And if a customer comes and they need a plant that for some reason you haven't found yet, or you're still trying to solve a puzzle, they don't get impatient. You're not timed, so you can just sit there and work it out, and you have as much time as you need to get it done. And I actually think that that is a great game design for something like this, because I got to spend all my time feeling like plant Sherlock Holmes and none of it feeling really vexed. Even when a puzzle was hard, I felt like I had the time and the space to solve it. And that was something I really appreciated. This game also has multiple endings, so it's not just having customers. You can get involved potentially with a local cult. There is some murder going on around town, and you're going to get to make some choices about how you treat your neighbors and how you side in this like big battle for the safety of the town, and whether you're going to join the cult or not, and all kinds of stuff like that. So you are going to really get some thrills as you play. But I want to let that unfold for you because it is highly entertaining. So hopefully this will give you a sense of whether Strange Horticulture is for you. I really loved it. I'm actually really sad that I've played this so much at this point that I know what all the plants are because, maybe in a little while I'll come back and play it again. It's just so cozy. I like the music. I like the little rain sounds. This is great to play in an evening, and it's very casual. So if this sounds like it's something for you, then it probably is. I really like this one. There's a lot of care and love given to this game, into the quirks of the plants, into the quirks of the people, into the little sound effects as you shuffle through your papers. It's a labor of love, and I really felt that as I played. So if you're looking for a relatively inexpensive, I think it's like $14.99 game for your Switch or for your PC or for your Steam Deck, then I really, really like Strange Horticulture. If you have a choice of whether to play it with a controller or with a PC, I actually recommend with a PC. Having a large monitor was really helpful here because of all the text, and also being able to click things, I think was probably more efficient than using a controller in this particular situation. So that is Strange Horticulture. I highly recommend that you give it a chance, and thank you so much for watching. Have fun being a plant detective, everybody, and happy gaming.